First of all, I think South Carolina did a lot better than people are feeling about it right now, because the decommitments sort of overshadow things, especially what happened with Arnett and with Key. But I think they made up in large part for the 9 decommitments. I think they did a really nice job recovering, discovering other good players, other players who may have been committed somewhere else, who had other major offers, and getting them to come in. So, 31, that's a large class. They addressed a lot of needs. Of course, the emphasis had to be on defense, had to be on finding pass rushers, and they think they did that. Time will tell how good these guys are, obviously, but at least on paper, it looks like they addressed that need of having some guys who can rush the quarterback. Got a couple of big interior defensive linemen as well, so that's good. Really like to look at the secondary. I think they've got several guys there who can help out right away and give them some immediate depth at secondary, where they're going to need some depth going into next season. I think that looks good as well. Plus, they have a couple of older guys there, a junior college transfer and Torrey Boyd, Darren Smalls, who sat out last year coming off a knee injury. Both are older guys. They're going to be, with this group coming in, an older defense, because you've got several guys who went to junior college or went to prep school or sat out last year, whatever the case may be. So they're going to be more mature, and I think better able to handle some things. So that's all a positive from a defensive standpoint. On the offensive side, really like to look at the offensive line. They are big to start with. I think that Sean Elliott's going to be real excited to work with these 5 guys. And I think they overcame the loss of a couple of decommitments on the offensive line very nicely by finding a couple of what appear to be very capable offensive linemen. Nunez, the quarterback, is going to get a very early look, because the quarterback job is so wide open. He'll get here in June. They're going to throw him right into the fire and see what he can do. And we'll find out. He's a very athletic quarterback, as Spurrier said, and he knows that he needs that kind of quarterback, someone who can throw it and run with the football to give them a chance offensively. I like to look at the wide receivers they're bringing in. They've got one tall wide receiver, one sort of medium-sized, couple of shorter ones, but guys with good speed. So I think that's a positive. The 2 tight ends are guys with very good hands, had a lot of receptions in high school, and they're big-bodied guys. So I think you've got good combos there of guys who could be blockers and receivers. In fact, Spurrier referred to Markaway as a Pat DeMarco type tight end. And so if you got a player like that, then I think you've got yourself a pretty good player. And then the 2 running backs, Turner, one of the best running backs in Virginia, Denson, sort of a very physical type of running back, wide body running back. So a couple of guys that will complement each other in different styles. But I don't think running back is a position of dire need for them going into next year. So these guys will have a chance to come along, and you won't have to rush them into service. And then you've got the place kicker in Carlton from AC Flora, who has a very strong leg, one of the better kickers in South Carolina this year. So they addressed a bit of a concern there. At the very least, he can help from the standpoint of kickoff. So, top to bottom, it's a class that addressed a lot of different needs. The number one need going in was defense. They had to address the deficiencies that cropped up in 2014 on the defensive side, and I'm pretty confident they were able to do that with this class. So, it's going to be ranked somewhere in the late teens, low 20s, and that's fine. No, I don't think anybody should worry about that kind of stuff. I think it's a class that will have a bit of a chip on its shoulder, because they realize that people aren't necessarily turning cartwheels over them, but that might motivate them to work hard and develop quickly and be major contributors. And that's what you want, of course, from any recruiting class, to have as many major contributors as possible. So I think from that standpoint, I think South Carolina's done a pretty good job in putting this class together.